Victoria Hayes stood before the towering gates of the Thornton estate, her fingers nervously smoothing the crisp white apron of her new maid's uniform. The polished black fabric felt strange on her, a symbol of how drastically her life had changed. Only 3 months ago, she had been a piano teacher at a respected academy, surrounded by the sound of music and ambition. When the school abruptly shut down, she lost not just her job, but her sense of purpose. Desperate for work, she had accepted the position of maid at the estate, convincing herself it was temporary just until she found her way back to teaching. The mansion was breathtaking, with sprawling gardens and tall stone walls that whispered of old wealth. Inside, Mrs. Patterson, the head housekeeper, greeted her with sharp efficiency. "You're the new maid," she said, eyes sweeping over Victoria's uniform. "You're late." "Mr. Thornton values punctuality." "I'm sorry, the Busa Mr. Thornton doesn't care about buses," Mrs. Patterson interrupted, though her tone softened slightly. "Plan better next time. Now, come, I'll show you your duties." As they moved through the elegant halls, Mrs. Patterson explained the household. "Mr. Sebastian Thornton is the CEO of Thornton Industries, widowed. His wife died giving birth to their daughter, Isabella, 5 years ago. The poor child was born blind." Victoria's heart tightened. "That's awful." "It is." "Mr. Thornton keeps to himself and works constantly. The girl has gone through several nannies. Not because she's difficult, but because she's a broken bar. Quiet, lonely." They passed a music room, sunlight glinting off a grand piano. Victoria slowed instinctively. "You play?" Mrs. Patterson asked, catching her gaze. "I used to teach," Victoria admitted softly. "Well, you're a maid now," Mrs. Patterson replied. "Best to forget about that. The piano belonged to Mrs. Thornton. He can't bear to hear it played." Victoria worked quietly for several days, sticking to her tasks and keeping out of sight. Mr. Thornton was distant, always leaving early and returning late, his face expressionless. Isabella, tiny and pale, wandered the garden with her nanny, moving hesitantly with one hand stretched out before her. Everything changed on the 4th day. While Victoria was dusting the music room, she heard a small, muffled sob. Turning, she saw Isabella standing in the doorway, tears on her cheeks. "I'm lost," the little girl whispered. "Nanny went to the bathroom and told me to wait, but I followed a sound and now I don't know where I am." "You're in the music room," Victoria said gently. "Would you like me to help you find her?" "What's a music room?" Isabella asked curiously. "It's where people play instruments like this piano." "What's a piano?" The question made Victoria ache. No one had ever explained the magic of music to her. "Would you like to hear it?" she asked. "Am I allowed?" "Maybe we'll keep it our secret," Victoria whispered with a smile. She guided Isabella to the piano and helped her press a key. The note rang out clear and bright. "I made that sound?" Isabella gasped. "You did," Victoria said. "Would you like to make more?" For nearly an hour, the two of them played, Victoria teaching, Isabella laughing, discovering a world of sound and rhythm. Neither of them knew that Sebastian Thornton had come home early. He stood silently in the doorway, frozen by the sound that filled the air. For 5 long years, that piano had been silent. Now, his daughter's laughter, so rare, so bright, mingled with its melody. When Victoria finally noticed him, she jumped to her feet, flustered. "I'm sorry, Sir, I shouldn't have ya." "Don't stop," he said hoarsely. "Please, keep playing." So she did. She finished the song as Isabella laughed beside her, her tiny fingers dancing over the keys. That evening, Sebastian called Victoria to his study. She arrived trembling, certain she was about to be dismissed. "Mrs. Patterson tells me you used to teach piano," he said. "Yes, sir, at Merriweather Academy, before it closed." He studied her quietly. "I heard my daughter laugh today for the first time in years." "You did that?" "You gave her something no one else has." "I only wanted to help," she said softly. "You did more than help," he replied. "You reminded me what I've been too afraid to see. My daughter deserves joy." Then he surprised her. "I'd like to hire you as Isabella's music teacher and companion. No more cleaning. Your job will be to help her understand sound and musica and to help me be a father again." From that day on, everything changed. Victoria taught Isabella not just to play piano, but to listen to the world, to map rooms by echoes, to feel vibration as melody, to find stories in sound. Sebastian began joining them, hesitant at first, then more often, rediscovering the daughter he'd once kept at a distance. He told her stories about her mother, describing colors and emotions she'd never known. One evening, Isabella played a small piece she'd composed. "This part sounds like rain," she said proudly. Sebastian's voice trembled. "It's beautiful, sweetheart." Months later, as Victoria played softly one night, Sebastian entered the music room. "That's new," he said quietly. "Yes, it's for Isabella, a song about her growing and learning." He stepped closer, his eyes filled with emotion. "You've given us both more than you realize." And somewhere along the way, a broken bar, "I fell in love with you." Victoria's heart caught. "Sebastian, a broken bar, you don't have to say anything," he said quickly. "You'll always have your place here." "I just couldn't keep it inside any longer." She reached up, touching his face gently. "I love you, too. I have for a while." 6 months later, they were married in the music room where it all began. Isabella played the piano during their vows, a song Victoria had written for her, about a bird learning to fly. Years passed. Isabella grew into a confident young pianist, her blindness never limiting her dreams. When she performed at Carnegie Hall, Sebastian and Victoria sat hand in hand in the front row, tears glistening as they listened to her fill the hall with music. And they remembered the day a lonely maid broke a rule to comfort a blind child, how that moment of kindness had healed a broken family and taught them that the most beautiful melodies are born from love, courage, and the willingness to see what others overlook. Because sometimes, the most powerful music begins when someone dares to play a single note in the silence.